When building your business, strive to be great at one thing. It's so easy to be pulled in many, many directions. The gurus, they'll tell you, you have to be great at email marketing, or you have to be great at writing sales copy, or you have to be great at creating products, or you have to be great at creating videos. So much so that you can get distracted into believing that you need to build a business in one of those areas. That's kind of what happened to me over the last few days. I was trying to learn a little bit more about writing sales copy, to the point that I wanted to add that as a skill in my repertoire of things that I do very, very well. Now, I can do it some, that's what I was thinking. I can do it some, but I really needed to get better at it. So what I did is, what I normally do is, I watch a few YouTube videos. If I could catch a podcast on somebody who's good at it, listen to them for a little bit. But then I always buy a course. And that's kind of where I would suggest you do things as well. You can get some general knowledge, but just know that's not going to get you where you want to go. You need specialized knowledge, and you need somebody who's really good at what they do to teach you. So after that, I bought a course. And after I bought the course, I learned a whole lot about writing sales copy, being a copywriter. But one thing I noticed near like the end of the course, the instructor started moving towards teaching me to have my own copywriting business. Well, that wasn't my desire. That's not why I bought the course. I bought the course because he was one of the best teachers, one of the best people at it. And that's really what I really want to talk about as a potential pitfall that you face as a new business owner. And that is being swayed by people selling courses on how to start a business in one of the skill areas that you need to build your business. Now, you may end up purchasing from people who are highly skilled in one of those areas. Sales copy is a good one. If I had a huge project, I may just hire a sales copywriter and not even do it myself. But I feel like having it under my belt is a good thing. But to go so far as actually owning a copywriting business or agency, that's not really in the plans. But when it's presented to you in a way in which it seems like it's an end all, it's a way to get rich, it's a way to leave all your worries behind, it's a way to finally strike it rich and become a millionaire, a billionaire, gazillionaire. When it's presented to you like that, it's so easy in the beginning to chase that rabbit. And I've done it. I've done it so many times before in the past. That's why I want to talk about it today. And I was so glad I ran across that in this course, because then I thought, oh, wow, I know not to do that. But I used to not know not to do that. And I really want to do a video on this topic. And so that's how this came to be. Really become a person who focuses on being great at one thing. You should strive to be a specialist and look at everything that you learn as tools in your tool belt to make you better, more proficient, and an expert at fulfilling your mission, whatever that may be. Mine is to help people quit their 9-to-5 and start their own internet-based business. So anything I can learn along the way in the way of skills or anything along those lines, anything, thought process, just any type of tips, information that I can learn that could help me convey my message better, I'm all in. I'm interested in that. However, I don't chase down side roads to to get this pie in the sky or treasure at the end of a rainbow, uh, which is nothing but a distraction when I know what my mission is. If you don't know what your mission is, then those distractions seem like they are actually helping you get closer to where you want to go. Whereas in reality, they aren't. Because if you took time to try to build a business based upon some of the teaching that you get and then you get, let's say, halfway through that teaching or that training, and you realize, wow, I didn't even really want to do that type of business, but I got all this freaking training. What am I going to do about that? I just wasted my money and my time. Well, when you do that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, then what that does is it starts to take away a lot of your drive and your passion to actually build your business, because you went down all those side alleys and you've chased all those rabbits to get not a skill, but a business under your belt. And each time you do it, like I said before, each time you do it, it really takes something out of you. So it's best not to even go down that road. Decide on what you want to do. Decide on what you want to be great at. You may not know completely what that is, but inside you have some form, some semblance of a mission, a vision, if you will, that you want to see come to fruition. You have a desire that you want to see fulfilled. You need to focus on that. And you need to think about the business that would help you to get everything that you desire. Maybe that means assisting people to avoid a lot of the challenges that you faced in life. Or it could be you just want to be independent, financially independent. So to do that, chart a course, get a vision, chart a course, make a plan, and follow your plan. And when you have these offers come your way, and you're always going to see them because we're in internet marketing, and you're always going to see those type of offers. You're always going to see that type of quote unquote opportunity dropped in your lap. That silver bullet that's going to slay all your dragons and make you rich and wealthy. You're always going to see that. So you need to do what I just mentioned before. Have a vision, set your course, make a plan, and follow your plan. Because if you don't, you're going to get distracted and it's going to pull you away. And that's the thing I learned about a lot of with sales copy. It's meant to persuade you. But I want to use that skill to persuade people to not procrastinate. That's why I really want to get into it. And that's why I learned it. I learned it for that reason. And I want people to understand that when an opportunity does come their way and they're prepared for it, that it's imperative that they take action right away and don't put it off and not wait till another time, which it doesn't come. So that's why I do what I do. But in internet marketing, what you'll find is it seems to be that what people do is they'll learn something and they'll get halfway decent at it, and then all of a sudden they want to teach it to everybody, and all of a sudden they'll put a stamp of $2,500 or $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 as a price tag on that course or coaching or whatever product it may be, and then they try to sell it to the masses. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm looking at it from your standpoint and the way I used to see things, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago when I was first in internet marketing, just looking at things. I want to look at it from that point of view. That point of view is I'm focused on really what I want to do, And when I come to this product, is this product going to bring me closer to where I want to go, or is it going to take me away from where I want to go? And that's what you have to do as a new business owner. You have to always be thinking through that prism. You have to see things through that prism, not the persuasive sales copy or the charisma of the person selling the product or service. You have to be thinking of your own self-interest of what you're trying to accomplish. And along those lines, if it's what you really need, you'll really know. You'll know. You really won't need to see a whole lot of sales copy. It's like you'll know. You'll know when you see it that, hey, that's what I need. That's what I've been. That's the gap I've seen as being the missing piece for me to get from the step where I'm at right now to where I want to be. And sometimes it is only 1 or 2 steps. It's not the complete journey, but you'll know that that's the next step. It could be anything. It could be a skill, and it could be just a way of thinking sometimes that you need somebody to kind of guide you and just point you in the right direction. It could be things like that, but you need to look at everything that you're thinking about doing, buying, or taking time to examine. You need to look at it from the standpoint or the aspect of, is this really helping me to get where I want to go? Everything else is just a distraction. So when you're focused on that one thing, or focused on being great at that one thing, then the road becomes a lot easier. You start to recognize distractions very, very quickly. And again, I always use sports as an example to teach a lot. Let's say if there was a game coming up. Now let's just say it another way. Like Michael Jordan. I mean, he's known for this. Game 6. Why Game 6? Well, he puts everything he would put everything he can into the series, but he'd always know Game 6 was the game. Because if you win it in Game 6, you're not going to even be in a position where you're in desperation to win Game 7. Because Game 7 is usually, it's a toss-up. Either team can win that game. But if you go out and you dominate and you just snatch victory in Game 6 of the playoffs, you've overcome so much, and you've put so many other aspects of what could happen. You put all of that out of the picture. It doesn't even matter anymore. Because when you go out and you win Game 6, you pretty much have made the roads that much easier, you know. And the other team too, they're thinking in terms of, okay, this is game 6. If let's say if that team is already, let's say they're ahead and they need to win Game 6 in order to win. What that team would normally do, like other teams, I'm not talking about like Jordan in that Jordan era, none of that, or when he was playing up against teams, but let's say another team. What another team would do, they would come up to Game 6 knowing that they've probably been going back and forth on the other games up in that series, and by the time they get to Game 6, they're thinking, okay, I'm ahead, so if I win this one, great, but if I don't win this one, you know, so what? We'll get them in Game 7. But a winner, they seize the day. They do it now. They get it done right now. So when you look at business like that, you're thinking in terms of, I need to get done now. I don't have time to dilly-dally around with it. So I need to get the information that's going to help me move down the road. And this isn't a pleasure cruise for me. This isn't something that I'm just having fun with. I'm playing serious. I mean, this is the time to get it. So you don't give yourself that out, and you don't look at it as a luxury that you can go and look at a lot of different products, or get sidetracked looking at things that could pay you millions if you master them. And you master them at the expense of taking everything that you've done up until that point and putting it on the shelf. So you master that at the expense of putting all of your experience aside, and also your dreams of being fulfilled. You're basically procrastinating on those dreams when you do that. When you go chase another rabbit, or you go after that silver bullet, or you have shiny object syndrome, where something else can come along and take your attention, and you feel like you need to buy that in order to be successful, because most times you don't. Especially in this day and time, there's so much software out there, there's so much teaching and information. You can make it without spending a fortune on an end-all, be-all product or service. I'm not saying you shouldn't spend money. You should invest money in your business, but you should do it very, very wisely. And you should always be thinking in terms of mastery. You know, everything is another step forward. Everything is important that takes me closer and closer and closer towards my goal and fulfilling my vision. So think in terms of being a specialist and not a person who deals in generalities. You want to be thinking in terms of I could be good at a lot of things, but I know that if I'm good at a lot of things, chances are I'm not going to be great at any one thing, because I haven't focused in on being great at one thing. When you focus in on being great at one thing, all the other things you're good at feeds into that greatness of being good at that one thing. You can be good at a lot of things, but the market will pay you a fortune if you are good at one thing. Hence, a heart specialist or a brain specialist who makes a whole lot more than a doctor who is in general practice. So you want to be that specialist. In order to be that specialist, you have to focus on the skills that help you become better at fulfilling your vision. And then you have to ignore all of the side roads and distractions that want to pull you here and there with the promise of you becoming a millionaire by starting some other type of business. So that would be a major understanding or thought process to wrap your mind around and take on that mindset and be very, very disciplined and focusing on things that move the needle, things that make you better at what you do, and things that continue to put the wind in your sails and keep the wind at your back, and just keep your momentum going. You don't want to break your momentum by chasing something else, a pie in the sky or something that somebody else promised. By the way, a lot of times when people do sell products or services like that they say it can make you a millionaire or make you millions, and they may have gotten rich doing it as well, there was a time in their life that they were super focused. They were focused on getting that information and learning that information and mastering that information. And I venture to say that's really what made them rich at it. That's what really made them an expert, is that they did hone in and focus in on mastering those skills. So when you look at it from a standpoint of dropping what you're doing to go pursue that, you already start at a disadvantage, because you're not really fully committed. You're just you're testing the waters to see if this works. You're hoping it'll work. You're just kind of in a position of doubt, really, because you are not really sure if this is going to work, because the thing you were doing before in your mind, you feel like that didn't work. When in reality, it may have not worked yet, but it was working because you were getting better at it. You just set it on the shelf for a while. And that's really what I want to stress to you, is just quit sitting things on the shelf. Keep moving forward with them. In the beginning, I created blogs. I started email lists. I had social media social media accounts that I started that were doing great. Even had other video channels going really good. And I stopped on almost every single project that I started to pursue or chase something else. And now I don't want to see that happen to you. But now in my career, my business, I'm more pulling everything together. So I learned the skills, and that's the one thing that I can say out of every single project that I pursued, every road that I went down, I learned some very valuable skills. So now I'm able to go back and pull everything together. But it would have been much better if I would have focused on one thing. If I was going to blog, then just focus on blogging and do it and do it and do it and make it work. And if I wanted to do email marketing, I should have just focused on that and just made that work. So whatever it may be for you, that's what you need to focus on. And keep doing it. Keep doing it. You'll start to see some results. It's kind of like grass growing. You know, just one blade will come up through the ground. And then after a while, a few more days, a few more weeks, you'll see more and more and more start to sprout up and grow up. And that's the way it is when it comes to pursuing your dream and doing the work, putting the work in. It seems like nothing happens for a long time, it seems. Then all of a sudden, everything happens. And that's the way it is. You just got to continue to put the work in. You got to continue to grow, improve where you're at, and which may include, actually it should include, some coaching and some guidance. And then you readjust your approach, and you go at it with the same amount of vigor, the same amount of passion. Never lose your passion. Always have tremendous drive at what you're doing, no matter how many times you get knocked down or you seem to have setbacks. A lot of times you just need just a little bit of information. A lot of times you don't even need a whole lot. You just need a little bit. But it's the work, it's the consistency, it's the discipline that's going to get you where you want to go. And that's what separates the people who win and the people who don't. Is the people who win, they persist, they don't quit, and they don't get distracted. And that's why you see people who are super wealthy or very, very successful. You just know they're different. They're different. Success leaves clues. It's obvious that they're different. And the thing that made them different is they kept their attention on the things that matter, and they didn't get caught up in distractions. So that's the thing I really wanted to discuss today, and I hope it helped you. And enjoy your day. We'll talk soon.